In this video, I wanted to do a quick review of this Wera Stubby screwdriver. This is one of the screwdrivers with the bits on the inside, and obviously it's a stubby, which means it's very short, just about maybe 2.5 inches long. So this is something I wanted to use, or I wanted to have just for use around the house, kind of under the sink, hanging up pictures, just sort of general use. And I wanted to get a stubby just to get into any tight areas. I wanted full-sized bits that are like kind of nicer bits just for some integrity there. And I wanted to get something with bits inside the body so I didn't have to reach around for multiple screwdrivers, and I always knew everything I needed would be inside. This company, I think it's Wera, might be Wera, hard to say. It's a German hardware manufacturer. They sell stuff all over the place, but it's easy to find their hardware on Amazon and a few other places online. It's a little bit more of a premium product because they do make nicer tools, but then I think this one would maybe cost $15 as opposed to kind of a bargain basement Craftsman or something that would cost $10. So it's not a crazy difference. So what do you get? You have a plastic tool. So it's a plastic body with some rubberized sections, but it's all quite hard. You have a hex area here in case you do need to twist it with a wrench. It doesn't come up too often, but it's useful when it does. You have removable bits. It's just a little, I think it's a 1/4 inch size bit. The bits are really nicely labeled. You can see this is has this band here. It's a number 2 Phillips. It might be obvious to you, but the 2 is quite clear. And then it's the Phillips bit. This is not a kind of a hammer friendly screwdriver. I know sometimes you want to whack these on the back. This one has a plastic back piece and it doesn't have a solid metal shaft throughout, so you don't want to hack this one. You don't want to hammer this one. The bits are inside. You can see this indicator here saying if you were to push it, requires a fair bit of pressure, but it does pop open. And now we see the holder. We have a number 1 Phillips, your I don't know if that's I guess maybe it's 6.5 millimeter flat blade. I guess it's not, I don't know what that dimension is actually, but you have your 2 flat blades there. Here is your number 2. This is like the Phillips Robertson number 2, I think. You see it's kind of squared off at the end, so it's like a P2R2. There is your P1R1, whatever that black one is called, just your Phillips Robertson, I believe. And then I have the number 2 Phillips installed. This thing is a little floppy. I mean, it does this so you can get at the pieces more easily. So it is floppy, but it doesn't come out. It seems to be in there pretty well, and it does move so you can get at the things. Everything is in there very secure. If anything, it's too hard to get these pieces out. They never fall out accidentally, so I like that. You could put other bits in here as long as they fit that 1/4 inch hex, and then they're not too long. So that's pretty good in case you want to customize these. The company, where they do make other kits like this. This one uses Phillips and flat blades. They have another kit that is Torx, and another kit that is like Torx and Allen mix, kind of stuff that doesn't come up so much when you're doing just general around the house work. This is like, you know, they make professional tools, so you may be using this at work and you're doing a lot of Torx, or you need a lot of, you know, what have you, square drive, something like that. And they have the specialized tools for that. I guess this may actually be a JIS. I see the little piece there. So anyway, get the point. It has a bunch of different bits available. This is the kit with nice, useful Phillips bits. This thing, you can see it's all plastic here. It's a little floppy. It's all plastic. Doesn't have a metal center shaft. This piece, all plastic, no metal in there, so you don't want to hit this thing with a hammer. It does lock in quite nicely. Makes a noise here. It's not silent, but it won't come out accidentally. To pull it out, you either pull it like that with your hand. It actually takes a little bit of pressure, or you could pop it out with your thumb. If you do it with your thumb, you have to apply equal pressure on the back to do it. You can't just push it out one-handed. One-handed, maybe if you can get it, yeah. but it takes some time to figure out exactly the motion, and it gets a little bit better as you've been using this thing for a few weeks. It breaks in a little bit. I don't expect it's ever gonna start falling out on its own, but that's always a risk for something like this. The handle is rather small, so I know when you get a Stubby, the point of it is that it's small, but you have to make sure that it's not too small for your hand. This one is borderline, but it's pretty good as long as you don't have to apply a ton of pressure to it. Here you have a magnetic holder, and you can pull it out. This will magnetize and holds it in quite well. The company sells a bunch of different ones of these based on whether this holder is magnetic, non-magnetic, ratcheted. This is obviously, it's non-ratcheted, so you can't turn it one way then with force and then turn it back freely, you know, ratcheted. If you want the ratcheted ones, they do sell it, but they get to be a lot more expensive. This ratcheted might be in the $30 to $40 range. And then they do have non-magnetic fronts in case you don't want, maybe you're working with electronics or something like that where you don't want the magnetized area. That's not the sort of stuff that comes up with home users, but it's interesting to see that they sell all this. They have, I really like the quality of their bits. I wouldn't say it's like hugely exceptional compared to, you know, a standard, like a nice Bosch or DeWalt or something like that. You know, maybe it's a little bit better, but I've found their bits to hold up pretty well. So nice quality there. I've been using this one for a few months now, and no major problems with the bits holding up, and the screwdriver itself has held up well. It's a little small, but you get used to it, and you don't use it for every job, just useful around the house. And again, a Stubby is just not something you use every day. It's something you use under certain circumstances. If it's at your house and at the home, you know, maybe you could use a Stubby a bit more often because you're not doing a ton of work that requires a lot of pressure or force or whatever. So this gets the job done. So if you're looking for a nice screwdriver to keep in your junk drawer or kind of wherever you keep your tools, and it's really more for like an apartment life where you don't need a lot of stuff, but the stuff you have, you tend to use a lot, and you want it to be really good and like really solve your problems without having a full garage full of tools available. I think this is a nice pick. But you know, if you're going to have a full set of screwdrivers in your garage, you know, or a workshop, then you know, Stubby with built-in parts is probably less useful. It's also something you might want to throw in your car or something like that, where you want to have tools available, but you don't have a lot of space. So you can get everything, and maybe not everything, but you get as much as you need. It's stowed away nicely, and if you are diligent about keeping everything there, you'll always be ready. So yeah, that's the Wera Stubby screwdriver. I like this one a lot, and it's my favorite one I've found, and I've been hunting around for the right internal storage Stubby for a fair bit. So thanks for watching.